2-0. And more recently, it has been Spirit coming out on top of the 2-0s.
How many times in a row?
Let me see. Twice. And the one before that, it was PARIVISION. So, yeah, I mean, it depends on the day. And I like that, you know, here's a quote, okay? There were some quotes that were happening, of course, when Satanic was playing on Team Spirit. I think Yatoro kind of wanted to play. I think he was missing it.
He was.
I think Satanic is average for Tier 1. At Tier 2, he can win solo. So he was kind of saying, like, this guy, he's good, but he's not good, but he's not that good.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like there's a little bit of, like, salt and FOMO.
Pride.
There's a little bit of FOMO there, right? Like, this is Yatoro you're talking about. The guy has that competitive drive. And then on the flip side, when Satanic knocked Spirit out of Fisher Playground, he literally grabbed the mic and did a speech, and he said, big respect for Team Spirit. If it weren't for this organization, I wouldn't be here. Big thanks to them. So he kind of grew into the type of player that he is. Like, of course, he was the pub star, but he, you know, says that Team Spirit is like the reason that he grew into the player he is today, which is an absolutely exceptional player on the level of Yatoro. And we can see that he legitimately is on the level of Yatoro. This is from Dream League 25, so recent Dream League. And here are some of the stats between these two players. So Satanic has the highest average kills of the whole tournament. This is not just carries. This is everyone. Highest GPM. And Yatoro, you know, his numbers are not so bad either. He's second and second. So he did beat Satanic on last hits and XPM. But GPM, highest average kills, Satanic is actually apexing him. So it's funny that, you know, on one hand, you have Satanic, who's beating all of the records, and he's, like, mathematically doing better than Yatoro's, but Yatoro ended up going on. DK mid do extremely well against Ember. I feel like you just probably put that there, right, with the green facet. The only nerf to DK was move speed on his ult. This is, like, nothing. So I think you just put DK mid and pick a new carry here.
But if you're picking a new carry, it looks like they're gonna have the Hoodwink played by Rue, and then the Tusk on the 5.
It could be either. They both play both of them. Miposhka is one of the few, like, Hoodwink 5 enjoyers.
That's true. He does do that. And Tusk is usually wanting to be with the ranged offlaner, but if you're a melee, like, right-click based guy, like Mars or like even Darkseer with the facet that makes him attack faster, usually you can pair these type of heroes with Tusk. And they go OD.
Oh, wow.
That's a hero I've also been seeing a lot more in pubs. He feels, ever since this, like, tank meta, somebody who's really unkillable, the Tides, the Abaddons, yeah, maybe those heroes got nerfed, but Medusa, the formula is still the same. We're just going to see different heroes, and OD, because of that, has always been, I would say, the best hero in Dota to munch on tanks. Like, you just have this ranged pure damage. Also gives you pretty good Roche potential, and you have so many heroes that go in for you. I think my only concern always with OD is lack of stun, lack of catches, like a mid laner who doesn't naturally build these type of things.
They have a ton of lockdown.
Yeah, they have so many initiators. There should be very little attention given to Laurel in these fights. Man, I actually like this is a spicy draft.
And if he gets the Ags, it doesn't matter if AA blasts you because it's a barrier, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a really good pick. It's also a hero that can steal Medusa's mana. You can, like, deal direct damage to her effectively that way. Does extremely well against an Ember mid. At least I would imagine so. Maybe the matchup's a little different now that Ember benefits from, like, the Orb of Corrosion and the, you know, Mage Slayer type build, but yeah, that's an excellent pick from Laurel. And I think Yatoro's happy enough to just play DK. Like, DK carry, the hero's the same. It's never bad.
Yep.
So now that the draft is done, what are we thinking? Who's going to have the upper hand?
I honestly think like Laurel has a big weight on his shoulders to shut down No One's Ember because the map control and mobility.
Very excited for a game one. Interesting draft as expected, I think, from PARIVISION. You guys talked quite a bit about how they've been able to kind of hide potential strategies, and it seems they're not holding back at all in game number one here.
No, I was wondering, this is like day one, you know, like, do you save strats a little bit? You know, bring the meme back, I'm saving strats. Full out, Slark support, right off the bat, let's go. Offlane Medusa, which is crazy to say. That actually does not feel that crazy anymore, but I'm still very excited to see it.
Yeah, it really is. It's going to be a very fun game. The last pick of the OD here for Laurel, though, pretty strong in this game. Should win handedly in the mid lane for no one, but we'll see how they can kind of weather that storm, how this offlane Medusa is going to do. I'm excited. I think this is going to be a great game to kind of kick off ESL One Raleigh, so we'll see how it goes.
Hoodwink, mandatory pick.
True. All right. Explain to me why Hoodwink is a mandatory pick here. I think like you said, teams contractually obligated to pick this hero at least once a series.
The state tree is the oak tree with the acorns. Acorn shot has been buffed just for this tournament. Nature's also picked for that very reason.
I see. Yeah, very nature-based state here. So we'll see a lot more of them. As PARIVISION actually smoked up here on the top side of the river, maybe looking for an opening, but with Rue on the wraparound, gonna make it a little bit difficult. Yeah. So they'll just back away, get the rune. Not a bad start. Opening with the 3 bounties.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested to see how this support Slark is going to do. I think a lot of people are probably pretty interested in how Slark support's going to do. He took the other facet, I think Dark Reef Renegade. For those of you who don't know what this one does, because no one ever takes it, when you are still affected by your innate, the regen going, you apply negative armor on hits. So I think what we're going to see him try to do is weave around the trees a lot, and that means every time he hits Miposhka, he's getting some negative armor in. So it's like free Blightstone, essentially, and it stacks as long as you keep weaving in between the trees. So very cool idea, along with the old Slark support stuff, you know, Depth Shroud, you know, pounce on people to set up Ice Blast, I guess. That's going to be a first time for a support Slark setup on the Ice Blast that we'll see.
It is kind of interesting because you're right. Like we talk about Ancient Apparition and like the different pairings you can have. Like it's usually from like your mid laner because they're going to be the ones who are getting active early. And Ember is a great one. We were actually kind of talking like, oh, it's like this is one of those things. Like a lot of times we'll see the mid laners make their way over for these runes and collapse. Spear is going to connect into the tag team. A lot of damage here onto the A. But the first blood, who's it going to go to? The snowball should do it, and that will be it. Rue getting first blood here on the Tusk, as no one will have to back away. And who's winning on the other? It's just 9 class and Miposhka going head to head. Yeah, you will definitely win the long game here on the Slark. A lot of damage there actually from the neutral, but he gets the return kill. Okay. Very well done.
You have to get the meteor. You have to be this wall that they can't get past and just pressure towers. And if you fall too far behind, collapse.
Oh, nice bait on the teleportation. But Rue's here as well. They're like, we're going to protect our Mars. That's actually a really nice response from Spirit, bringing in OD as well, which he should get the last hit here if they give it. Yeah, they do. Definitely want to boost Laurel here as we get into the mid game.
Probably a good call from Satanic. You just lose the AA, and it's that was like 4 heroes. You know, you don't feel too bad about that. Actually, rotating down here, Radon pretty tanky.
He is, but if the Slark can get in range, they might be able to hold him long enough. And yeah, with the leash, looks like they will be able to bring down Radon here on the Dragon Knight. So very good rotation in from Satanic. Gonna be picked up here from no one, will be put to use. So they're gonna look for Radon here. Great stun from the Ogre. What? Okay, Slide Chains connects top lane. Arena on the Satanic as well. They're gonna grab themselves the first kill onto the Nature as a save from Laurel here. As they're gonna continue the chase. No, he'll just Remnant away, and now looking like Ducalis might be in a rough spot. Nah, DM's gonna come over, bail him out with Slark as well.
The Meteor Hammer is done. It's got to be delivered for DM, so...
Oh boy, here we go. We're ramping back into the mid lane, though. Ember's going to rejoin the fight. 9 class takes a ton of damage from the Sanity's Eclipse, and Satanic with his rotation in. The Sprout helps Leech on that cold feet, and they will grab themselves a much bigger kill, though. Satanic, this is what we're saying. You TP in, you get focused instead, as Radon's going to claim his kill. Stone Gaze for the retreat here on the side of PARIVISION, but Collapse is not satisfied. He is looking for more. He wants this Ember Spirit. Remnants down, away. Great change there to hold the Dragon Knight back. And with, well, hold on. Snowball. They're going to try and close the gap. Do they have a Shards? They do. Beautifully plays from Rue. They get the kill. And a great response.
Laurel on this OD is going to be a really scary late. I actually think he might be the scariest late game hero in this match.
He's baiting the Astral. He's like, yeah, Astral me. I want to Meteor Hammer your tower. Because that was something I was thinking about. Was like the Medusa, kind of annoyed. Nice pick off here from 9 class and friends. But like, you can't just walk up and Meteor Hammer against an OD, right? You're just gonna get Astral. So for DM, he's already off to the races, right? He's taken mid tower now. He's top of the net worth here for kill wise, right? 7 to 4. But like looking at the lineups, I guess it's not that surprising. DM, bottom lane, gonna get caught here from Collapse, drops the Stone Gaze. There's gonna be the Gorgon's Grasp into the Ice Blast. It actually hits the back line as well, so Rue can't bail him out with the Snowball. He died really fast, a lot faster than I thought he would.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get in range for the Snowball save, but just not fast enough.
This ward actually so on money here. It's gonna scout Rue hiding in the trees, and they'll get another rotation, even the Hammer, just for fun.
Dude, that's the support.
Smoke up, actually. Oh, okay, there we go. That's a pretty sick one. All right, that's a lot of tower damage.
Slark found Radon.
That's huge. He's definitely killable, right? Like, you don't have any real defensives. It's just a Mjolnir. You're greeting out on this hero. It's pretty typical. And here comes the Ice Blast, the mini stun. That's just a freebie, really, going the way of no one. And DM, well, he's caught another. Rue on the side. Seeing Meteor Hammer land is so good. But a nice turnaround kill there from Rue does manage to take down the Ancient Apparition.
And that one's like support for support.
This draft playing out, it definitely feels like a PARIVISION style of draft. Like, a lot of teams like would be like doing something similar, but PARIVISION is a team that's like really experimental and like willing to do things others aren't. Well, hold on. We're gonna see another Gorgon's Grasp into an Ice Blast collapse, dropping fast so low, but DM forced to pop the Stone Gaze, try and run, gets the blink out and collapse. He might survive with this. Walrus Punch comes out, an Astral Save once again, but 9 class rotating onto the backside. Here comes Satanic as well, but Radon here on the Dragon Knight, now surrounded, however. His team can't get to him to help in time, and that's just going to be a great trade, but now they've managed to get the arena, trap this Nature's Prophet in place. A trade on your cores, but with Ember TPing home, DM still plenty healthy. I think maybe favoring PARIVISION, but it's hard to say. I think they might be able to get more here with no one. As well, there's the chains. They have this Medusa lockdown now. There's going to be the Force Staff. Gorgon's Grasp not going to connect, though.
Say, oh, carry for carry, but they're on the Radiant half of the map. So even as you go even on kills to some degree, you're pushing their tower, right? Like, DM's like straight back over here.
Ooh, scurry down the river. He's so fast. Huge plays, but
Support Yules.
Yules Slark. All right, that's hype. Let's go. 9 class. Doing some cool stuff here.
He's saving up some money. Let's see what he buys. He's got, and in the last fight, I think he used Astral once and had nearly 1,000 or 2,000 more mana than all the other heroes. The Slark?
Yeah, I mean, they saw the ward get placed. They're going to immediately TP up here on Satanic to counter out this. Nice attempt here with the Snowball. He actually has a Blink Dagger completed, so Rue buys enough time to at least buy it out. He's not going to lose a lot here, and he is buying a lot of time, but here in the mid lane, Arena's going to trap down Ducas, but they get the kill once again onto Collapse, and well, with DM here on the Medusa, that fight's put to an end.
I mean, you have Nature's Teleport if you wanted to come secure this tower faster, but I don't even feel like you feel that pressure. Yeah, you're like, I mean, he'll get it eventually. I'm just going to keep jungling over here.
Yeah, this Medusa already paying off pretty hard. They're actually going to smoke right towards...
Course of 24 minutes, that builds a lead, especially as you keep getting kills. Like, it was like 7-3 earlier, and now 13-10. So they've been picking up all the kills lately. Going to find another here onto Tusk. No way out of this.
Yeah, really good find. And even now, DM's just going to chase up onto the high ground, see what he can find. Laurel throws out the Astrals, so we'll make a...
As this Scythe finishes up. And that seems to be like the timing you want to win around. Because after that, going for damage feels a little weird, as if you're...
Oh, that hurts. I mean, it was a good attempt on the pushback, but now it looks like PARIVISION happy to play aggressive. It just switches over to Knight, and Root up here onto Collapse, taking so much damage here from the Medusa, as well as just this Ember Spirit burning him down. He's dying. It just feels like he's not even tanky, and they get the D-Ward thanks to the Slark. Looking for more. In comes the Gleipnir, and now the Ice Blast is going to connect. Radon stands no chance. They get on top of 9 class on the backside, but there's the Depth Shroud. Standy's Eclipse comes out, forces the BKB out of Laurel, but Spirit is crumbling. They need to get Laurel out of here. Stone Gaze will not connect. Very good TP out.
I mean, Laurel's scary, but he can't do anything. The Depth Shroud's coming out. They're just ignoring him, kiting around the fight. I mean, it's also tough when you're as an initiator. He's like a setup, but then the spear has to connect, or the bushwhack, or the dragon tail, and I mean, we're getting to BKBs.
Radon on the low ground. They're gonna try and get on top of him. Gets the Hurricane Pike out, but the leash into the Ice Blast here once again. Radon will fall.
Tower is under attack.
It's just their rotations are so simple. You don't need to, like, your Nature's Prophet can join at any moment, and Ice Blast is such an amazing counter to this hero.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They're just gonna scout this Roche. Good ward there from Rue. The problem is there's a Slark, dude. If he actually walks over here, he'll know.
They might see him because he actually has an observer, and I think it's seeing through the trees.
It definitely sees him through the trees there. Wow, what a niche little observer to find him, and Snowball an attempt to try and stall this one out, but Rue will once again give up his life here to PARIVISION, and they get the D ward on top of it. And there's your scythe completed.
And Roshan, I don't see how you contest this one. I mean, Rue was the one trying to contest. You know, he's going to blink steal it, hopefully. So this should go straight over to PARIVISION, and I imagine we just start seeing him set up in front of the base. I mean, not the Natures, of course. Nature's going to be farming, but Medusa just sit there with the Meteor, and as soon as a fight breaks out, we'll see Satanic come in.
So Satanic should be the one who takes the Aegis here, right? So we'll like do exactly what you said. Like he can TP in, and now he can aggressively TP if a fight actually starts and not worry about, oh, I've been arena speared, I'm gonna die. Like he has the second life. Now 9 class helps set up another kill onto Miposhka. There's just no safe base on the map. Like if there was a
and comboing the Medusa off lane with the Slark, I wasn't sure how that would play out, but now that we've seen it, it's been a really cool way that they've approached the game.
Another Astral, but it just delays. He dies so dang quick. No one with another kill here for his Ember Spirit as Laurel should be able to survive. But you just lose another ward on the map. Is there any? There's one ward up.
Do we
for
have a
Spirit outside the tier 1 bottom? That is it.
Do we have a Slark dewarding stat?
Dude, it's all of them.
I mean, this is... It's been memed, but it's genuine.
9 saves on the back line, right, with the Tusk if they can get there in time. But it looks like they're just going to finally settle for that top tier 2. Now all 3 lanes exposed. Collapse is all by himself. There's the Yules. I mean, he has to BKB and run, right? I mean, this is the first time we've really seen it, but at least he's not dead. Yeah, but now makes your initiation so much more difficult.
Exactly. Now it's going to be so much harder to jump in the fight. Now, fortunately, the next fight's probably a tier 3 defense, so you have the advantage.
But his ward placement has been so essential.
9 class.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, I don't know what I meant 9 class.
You were looking at Rue.
I was about 9 class. Yes, talking about 9 class. Speaking of Rue, though.
Oh, blinked out.
How long can you get away from an Ag's Embers? Good old Blade Mail. Love that.
Maybe 10 more seconds?
Well done. 4. And you also have a 4-position Slark who can transition as well, doing some interesting stuff. And yeah, she's got a Mjolnir queued up. Here we go. It's just time for Medusa to become a late game carry as well.
I have another idea, but first...
Smoke.
Smoke from Spirit.
Collapse. His smoke's going to pop right. Oh my gosh. What a sick read from no one. And 9 class on the bottom side gets the... okay, he actually gets the ult off. We'll see if he can actually buy enough time. Yules into Depth Shroud perhaps, but yeah. In comes Satanic onto the high ground. The Scythe is going to be able to catch themselves. The Dragon Knight, Radon on the run. Walrus Punch will put Satanic into the air, but where's the damage from Spirit? Radon has to just head for the hills.
I don't think he's even going to get away. This is the hardest working Dire creep here, keeping track of him.
There's no Stone Gaze. He has to be able to BKB TP, but yeah, it's like that's your BKB contribution in this fight, which just hurts. Mid lane, collapse. Oh my goodness, that damage.
Oh, he thought he had a window to quickly push out mid, but this is the fast teleporting Natures. He's got a 3-time strength Treant here. Maybe a little too far?
Baiting, BKB doesn't survive with a Satanic. Really good response though from Spirit. As they're gonna buy back now on the Hoodwink, looking for no one on the Ember, but getting quite far away. He has no mana actually for a Remnant. The OD making it potentially difficult. Looking for more. Now TP's out. PARIVISION only losing to the Nature's Prophet, but how much was that kill? That had to be a ton of money.
1,000, 2,000.
2,000 gold. All right, that's about appropriate.
I mean, we had a series of events there. So first we see some strength to the Slark. So much survivability on his own. So when you run into him, yeah, you feel like you got to get something, but instead it just buys time for the rest of the team to show up. Collapse tries to push out mid, but the fast rotation from PARIVISION kill him. And then actually the fast rotation from Spirit then kill Satanic. So that actually saved their base because he had the level 25 Treant and he was about to destroy Barracks if they didn't kill him right there.
No one has no remnants. Yeah, we've seen him. He's been spending all of them over the last few minutes and, well,
Depth Shroud
from 9 class trying to save him. Hold on, Ice Blast. Can they get something in return? Maybe just Rue. Astral will buy him some time. DM trying to come in and finish the job. And, well, we'll see if they can get more. Playing some ring around the tree here as Miposhka trying to get away from this Slark. But For how long we'll see Spirit back, another Astral, this time onto the Medusa. Radon held in place here from the leash. They've got us surround here, and DM starting to lose a lot of the mana. This would be a massive kill if they can get it. Nature's Prophet still dead for 8. They try to feed her the Lotus, but DM isn't going to actually survive. He gets out. You're kidding me. They just can't finish off this hero, and Radon will TP, collapse under his BKB, but Satanic pops his own, and a second. Oh my goodness. Once Satanic's back in the fight, it's over. Spirit at least managed to get out on Radon as well as Laurel, but
with that, another Tormentor falls, and actually everyone's got their shard, so that's just money.
Free gold.
And then second Aegis is up. They're setting up for it right now. So then maybe this is it. You know, you wait a little. Sure, we could push on the first Aegis, but the second Aegis, it'll have the banner. It'll help with this push. You got way more tools to work with now.
Yeah, the Medusa actually switched up her build a little bit, going Parasma now, but either way, it's like you're still transitioning into like a right-clicking core.
Greatest steal in the world?
Gets silenced. I mean, that would have been hype, getting the Aegis steal, but very potentially costly if they can actually grab the OD here. Laurel does have his BKB and Refresher, which you definitely don't want to commit both, so we'll just BKB TP. They do manage to find the Hoodwink here up onto the high ground, but quickly killed off by Satanic's Nature's Prophet. So both supports dead. Not going to be an easy defense here. Radon, all they see is Courier. Yeah, he has TP now.
You know, I gotta say something then your opponent, so you Refresher, double ult, you just kill people. There are a lot of intelligence items on PARIVISION, so they still have less mana than OD, but it's not that bad.
Not
it's
as much as you expect.
Yeah, it's not in that one-shot range.
Yeah, then it makes the Scythe on a Slark make a lot more sense now. Is they're going to drop the first Hex now? Looking for a great chains on the backside here from No On Ru on the run. Ice Blast, it will connect onto Laurel. That's the green light. They want to try and finish off the OD, the Refresher, into the second BKB, but he gets Stone Gaze. The whole backline just melting here as the second Sanities will take down No One. They're going to buy themselves more time here against this Nature's Prophet, but I feel like it might not be enough. Great bushwhack here. The base seemingly belonging to PARIVISION. A lot of Astrals. Okay, he's building up a lot of mana. But yeah, oh yeah, there's still just the 25 Treant here. That's the real MVP. That's the real base taker.
I'm telling you, Nature Hero is buffed.
Yeah, that's true. Buff for all, you're right.
Protect your Treant, Death Shroud it.
Meteor Hammer comes out. One lane of barracks down. Looking for more. Dude, it dies so fast. I mean, you have to wait for your Tusk. Like, he's kind of your initiator. Your Mars doesn't have an arena. You could look for a spear back, but you have the Slark, right? Who can just kind of bail out any hero. And with the TP out from the Nature's Prophet, that is PARIVISION's full retreat now. They're looking to get aggressive here, seeing if they can find anyone. Bushwhack does connect on the Ancient Apparition, but they jump onto the backside. The Yules actually dodges the spear, catches 9 class, and now with Medusa back, as well as Satanic, they're going to just finish off Collapse. A little bit of damage is all they need. They get him. Miposhka can't really do much here. Just staring off on the back line, throws the sharpshooter like, guys, I think this one might be over. 4 dead on Spirit as the Dragon Knight's gonna respawn. And the Hex will catch him at the end of the day. Miposhka won't be able to survive. Double buyback though, Spirit not going out without a fight. The turnaround hoe. Can 9 class just keep him at bay? The Stone Gaze was holding him out for a while, but in comes Collapse, the Great, the Arena Spear. They've got 2 massive kills. Now the Medusa's second life here. We'll see what they can do as Ember's coming back. The Ice Blast coming through will connect onto Radon, and Satanic still got that BKB ready to go. Collapse on the back pedal. Pops his BKB to try and survive. Ru goes in with a nice Walrus Punch, buying some space, but now No One's turn, holding them back, letting the Nature's Prophet do the work, and with that, some diebacks going the way, and Spirit last-ditch effort with that Senes Eclipse, but it is a 4v1 here. The GGs come out, and PARIVISION with a beautiful draft here.
Silencer. It's going to come down to some milliseconds, I think.
And they did nerf the Silencer Brain Drain. It only gives you int if the enemy is actually debuffed by you. Before, it was like...
It was a lingering effect of how long an assist lasts, which is like 15, 20 seconds.
It was so long. Yeah, it was so long.
And that's a Tidehunter coming out last for Team Spirit.
Okay, so that means it is a Sand King mid. Cool. Against Storm, I'm not entirely sure how that matchup goes. I imagine Storm's probably pretty happy to throw Remnants into the Sand King Sandstorm.
I think this is a much better draft for Team Spirit, to be honest.
As in much better than PARIVISION now, or than
No,
Spirit
I'm
had
saying
last
I do
game?
think PARIVISION just kind of caught them off guard for all the reasons we mentioned. I had a hard time doubling down on the offlane Medusa because I really hadn't seen it competitive. I think this time around, they've got better answers and a more clear-cut game plan on the side of Team Spirit. What are you pointing at here, Sheeves?
We just saw the 1xBet odds.
Into the Phantom Assassin, so we'll see if Radon has a better strategy for handling it this time around.
Yeah, the lane and the early game is the tough part for PA because you really want time to scale up. You're slow on the dagger, countered by undulation on Medusa. Your negative armor, countered by the mana shield. So it's not great. But later, all you do is huge amounts of physical damage, and that is a great way of dealing with the mana shield. So we have seen the early game go Medusa, and then the late game go PA. PARIVISION had a pretty early game last time. Can they do it again? You've got a lot of strong early game heroes, and I mean they were ready with that techies when they saw that PA. You know, I feel like they're cooking. They know what's up.
This is again like very much like up the alley of PARIVISION in terms of the draft. I actually really like the wards currently placed from Spirit though. Like they've got vision on both sides of this mid lane river, so getting a little bit of idea of where they're going. Smoke's gonna pop here, so 9 class. We'll just zone them out. Looks like should just be an even trade for the runes. Phantom Assassin likely not gonna stick around here too long. Now, one thing we were talking about, a lot of magic damage. I mean, they talked about this on the panel. Spirit is bringing a ton of magic damage to the table, especially with the amplifications from the Ancient Apparition and the Elder Titan. You actually had a really good idea. How are they planning on handling this with with what they ended up drafting on PARIVISION?
Well, the pipe up in terms of who's playing what hero and in which lane, but I think this lane should be okay. AA, PA in that top lane.
What I'm a little unsure of, Collapse starting to get low, the Curse plus the Blood Grenade, it might be enough for first blood. They will give it to Satanic. A little man with a large tree. Dude, okay, I think we've seen this silencer into Tidehunter quite a bit. The second that Blubber procs, you just immediately Spirit mid lane fear for no one. He's the one who seems to be having the best time. He is quite a bit ahead, last hits and denies at this point. As another double curse in the bottom lane comes out. Collapse will get it dispelled there from the Blubber, but has taken so much time. He's going to pop the Kraken Shell to try and survive, but it's not enough. Another Brain Drain and another kill for Satanic here on this Tiny.
Yeah, the thing with Tiny, Kraken Shell is great at blocking a lot of little attacks, but Tiny hits you really hard with a few attacks, so still nice to have the damage block, but clearly not enough. Rue, blast off?
There's no way. He's so dead. He's going to try and survive this. The raindrop bought him a little bit of time, but it's not enough. 9 class with the Secret Sauce getting himself a real nice kill there.
In North Carolina, the Secret Sauce is vinegar-based for the pulled pork barbecue. You gotta try that out while you're here.
Okay. Very nice. Glad to know. He'll just get out on a sliver of HP there from a potion. I've heard the barbecue is actually pretty good. We had some yesterday. No one getting chased down here in the tower. Nice rotation in from Rue, but the Cold Feet does not snap, so he's able to survive.
Yeah, this is still pretty early levels, so the Ice Vortex not too impressive quite yet, but should be a lot better later on. Radon.
Ooh, that Gorgon's Grasp is going to hit. He's taking a lot of damage, but can they actually finish him off? Does he get lucky on a miss? No, 9 class, another kill here in this off lane. And Rue, well, maybe was trying to find a return, but good TP out.
Yeah, I was curious to see if Radon had a different idea. He's always brought creative things that people... Oh, mid.
He's going straight for the Epi. Nice response here from Laurel. No one actually doesn't have a ton of mana to work with. Tries to make it to the high ground, and he doesn't do it. All right, very good punish there from the Sand King.
They've really wanted to give that region over to the Storm Spirit. It's pretty much, and the thing is, you just can't risk it getting stolen, because actually, if we look at PARIVISION's team, Storm Spirit would have been great at stealing some of these. Rue, first Galvanized stack going over to no one. But Storm, Techies, you know, if they rotated over, they could have stolen the stack, so make sure to PA potentially, which is really cool. We almost never see that.
That would be an interesting pickup for sure. Disperser is actually a great tool this game in general when you're against the Silencer. Mid lane, okay. No one commits for a second and gets punished heavily by Laurel. Just right into a Epicenter and a Burrow Strike. Good night.
2 seconds to kill that Storm Spirit.
They're going to look to disarm into the mines. 9 class looking for a solo kill, but going to get an assist here from DM, and Techies will get put to sleep. So no TP out for you.
It's annoying. He's got no mana.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll actually walk home or if he'll try to do something without mana.
All right, bottom lane. Collapse is kind of doing the DM roleplay here. An immovable object in this off lane. Avalanche comes out. Eventually, they should be able to whittle him down with a Storm Spirit, and they do. It goes to no one. He gets himself another Galvanized stack as the Meteor Hammer shenanigans of topside begin.
That is on Spirit for probably the next 20 minutes before I would say PA flips that matchup, and now threatens like, if you show to me, I will kill you with physical damage.
Yeah, so they're gonna, definitely just give up the tower and instead gank Satanic bottom.
Dead in the fountain,
I think he's dead in the fountain. That's so close, yeah. Very good kill. So they use the haste rune that they pick up there on
The last game with that Slark, finding all your wards.
Exactly. But yeah, it's only, it's just DM going to be doing the same thing over and
Double
over.
hit.
Yeah, that's a really good use of the Gorgon's Grasp and a quick tap in from Ducalis. Getting a little bit more on that brain drain. Meteor Hammer comes out. Burrow Strike here onto DM. He's still got the ult available. 19 wands.
So good.
Yeah.
Her mana pool is huge, and the fact that it's percentage means it scales. So at a level tier 2, you may still keep it.
All right, they're going to full commit here, it looks like. They want to bring in Collapse. In comes the Spirit as well. If it can sleep, this would be perfect, and it does. There's the global once again. DM will escape, and, well, you didn't get any big spells out of Spirit, though. So we could see them make another attempt here if they really wanted. 14-minute Power Rune will end up spawning bottom, and it's an Amplify damage. So not too bad. Meanwhile, 9 class setting up a potential kill. Oh, it's just almost solo kills. It is a solo kill for 9 class there.
Classic mid contribution, last second.
This is like one of his signature heroes for sure. He's just rushing Ags, though, which is not an item I would have expected. Smoked up here from Spirit. They're looking for someone. It's the Blink reveal. You'll find 9 class. Not a bad kill as he just hit his killing spree, so a little bit of extra going their way.
It's an interesting idea, though, because now imagine Medusa, and for how much trouble we've talked about her, how annoying it is to go on her, and now there's a minefield sign behind her.
All right, they will finally commit here once again. Everything being dumped, even the Ravage. DM will finally die, but the turnaround here, potential as they go in here on the Storm Spirit. Collapse falling low, pops that Kraken shell, surviving for a while, but will they chase for more? Doesn't look like it.
Something for that. But the shard going, who was that silencer? It can be hit or miss. It depends how many kills you get and how much intelligence you end up stealing.
Oh, they're going to find DM here once again with the long sleep. Radon's going to be able to rotate in and just beat down the Medusa. This is the counter we talked about on the panel, right? You don't really wake up to bail her out.
Yeah, though I see an interesting change to his build. Last time it was Meteor, Gleipnir, Scythe. He's got the Meteor Atos. He's going to go over to the Blade Mail now. So maybe if you can activate that.
That's an interesting idea. Blink there from Lara. We'll set up a kill onto Ducalis.
I mean, there's a lot.
Started to pull away in the net worth. He is having a great time. Picked up the Shadow Blade. He's a natural Silver Edge builder in the late game, but we're going to see a fight potentially break out. Laurel blink dodge, gets the Burrow Strike anyway. The global silence is out, but Satanic needs help. Stone Gaze going to make a little bit of space as well, but Tiny about to shatter, but under the cover of the Silver Edge, he makes it for now. Can they actually close the gap? For now, they'll let him go, and now turning their attention on over to 9 class. Honestly, a pretty good escape from Satanic.
I really thought they would Ravage sooner in stacks, but maybe envisioning a long game.
Oh, Storm. Needs to be a little bit careful here. They do have a ward. Laurel with a nice Burrow Strike. Atos into Ice Blast. They get the silence. No one. You need to run. There's a Yule Scepter right on top of him. The sleep just barely off the mark. TP out. Is it enough? It looks like he'll survive. A sliver. You don't have to put yourself in harm's way to use, so that's a nice tool. Smoked up here, though. Who's going to see who? They're going to walk right into him. Radon's going to pop onto the high ground, jumps on the backside. No one's immediately BKBs. There's going to be the global slides. They need to grab the Ancient Apparition first. Rue barely surviving. He gets the turnaround, tosses it out the pipe. This is going to keep him alive for quite a while. Avatos comes through. Larl's got the epicenter. Doesn't have blink. He does. Manage to make it in. They get on top of Satanic. The Ravage on the turnaround. They're just falling on the side of PARIVISION. Ducalis, very little resources left. And DM left here to Radon, as he will pop the Blade Mail, do his best to try and get a kill here onto Larl. But one more Burrow Strike will do it. Oh, hold on. Techies put the minefield sign down. DM, there's no way he gets out, surely. He actually just TP's out. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's his Midas. That hurts.
Oh, that was the Midas?
Yeah, it was the Midas recipe. Well, we're going to see Roche this time goes to Rue. Ancient Apparition Shard, quite good. BKB out here from no one. They just want to try and burst down the Tidehunter. Avalanche toss, but the Ice Blast connects onto the backline. They just have to give this fight up. Satanic's just going to TP out. 9 class planting mines on the run here. Looks like for now he's going to be okay, but this is the
Roche, you know, just repeat that cycle and you go into the late game.
Yeah, I think Spirit are very comfortable with where they are right now. Like last game, they had no abilities to like really move out on the map, make plays, get aggressive. This time, hold on, Collapse can't really go anywhere. Now he will have to pop the pipe, try and inch his way out of this minefield. All right, very fun stuff here from Techies. Radon also just face checking the high ground, trying to pop more mines. I mean, to be fair, that was like a minute and a half of time that the Techies spent putting those mines out. So you are just kind of wasting 9 classes ability on the map, and they do manage to connect on top of the Techies. They get him. All right.
That would have been insane if he gets out from there.
I mean, he TP'd out in the face of 3 heroes.
Medusa doesn't feel comfortable to push up on her own. We see a very big difference in her impact, and
the Elder Titans are great response. We were kind of wondering, you know, how good is it going to actually be, and yeah, the turnout is very good. Storm Spirit going down to the back line again, looking for the Ancient Apparition. Dead in the Water is there. They have to BKB. Stone Gaze as well. But these are big cooldowns just for the Ancient Apparition, and now Satanic, he's in here pretty deep. He has the BKB as well. Just hobble away. No, instead he's just going to TP back to the fountain. This is, I think, what, the 4th time we've seen the BKBs used this way?
Yeah, Carry Tiny is not as good as it used to be as well because of the nerfs. It's passable, especially if you're flexing things in the draft. But to beat the PA, you want to be ahead so that your burst threatens her. Otherwise, she actually eventually picks up the shard. She's got a lot of physical damage, and she'll be fine versus the Tiny.
Yeah, DM on the run here from Radon. The Blade Mail actually kind of doing its work there. So a little bit afraid to commit. But now with Collapse back in front of the tower, I don't think they're really going to stop. I like the gem pickup early as well. Just no reason to let them set up vision on their own side of the map. Larl thinking about going in, but
just pre-channel.
Yeah,
getting ready.
It's like if you get the stomp, you know, then you're ready to go. It's like a half-second blink initiator. Does see Satanic. Ice Blast is coming. He actually takes a pretty hefty amount of damage here on the Stanking will BKB. Yules into the sky to try and buy himself a little bit of time. As the Silencer allows him to bail out these heroes. Now, a little bit of a botch initiation, but you do at least get global, and you still have Epicenter and Ravage. So you still kind of come out the winners, even if you don't get the kill.
The Burrow Strike just slightly slow there, and that allowed Satanic, you know, the young upcoming player, fast.
For actually killing the Phantom Assassin. She is burstable, right, during that Avatos combo, but having this Glimmer Cape in Satanic, if you don't 100 to 0 her, she will turn and probably kill you or your team. No one gets caught from the sleep here. There's a haste rune they're just going to deny from them, and, well, that's an Ice Blast right to the face. He went from sniper to shotgunner.
Losing position. I mean, they're technically 2K up.
Yeah.
It doesn't fully feel that way.
It doesn't feel that way at all.
Yeah, it feels like Spirit is in control here. So when you want to drag out the game and you want to creep cut, I mean, Techies can do it so quickly and so safely.
They just blink Epi'd bottom for the Silencer. Ducalis pops a huge Lotus, actually. He gets the Midas off. He's like, all right, I'll die. All right, Epi's down, guys. I did my job.
He's not Should he save that for the Medusa?
Here's the thing. He can global buyback into, or he can buyback into global silence if they needed it. You know, that's maybe, you know, I needed the Midas gold there.
Maybe.
Global silence if they needed it. You know, that's maybe, you know, I needed the Midas gold there.
Maybe.
But yeah, I mean, Epi being down is, I mean, they haven't been able to do much with it lately, right?
Yeah, I mean, you just take out the silencer. He's a big part of the team fight. And you don't want, you got to punish them as they try to split push. You got to put the fear in them.
They got the techies dead in the water, holding them down. Collapse does not care too much about these mines. Staggering the death timers, very important here from Spirit, but top lane being cut by the Storm. It's actually all the way to their tier 2 tower. So you've got this one wave mid. You've got to protect it.
Good thing the creeps don't activate.
Yeah.
Minefield.
That would be amazing. Looking to cut the next wave once again here. I mean, it's not an easy dive here from Spirit. Like, 9 class has set up mines. They don't know how many, right? But they know for sure there are mines in this base.
Yeah, this is not a
Tidehunters
jump them and throw them back. This is just let Radon hit. I say as
they jump in. Laurel takes a lot of damage from Satanic as he comes in on the back end of this BKB, but he just gets hit by the Earth Splitter as well, and Satanic will not survive. Radon low on HP, but he just continues to cleave through these heroes. The disarm is there. No one trying to clean up the backside here as Rue on the run here. He's going to be able to BKB a couple more auto attacks, but he's too slow. He can't survive. Forced to TP back to the fountain, and it will just be a 2-for-2 trade.
I guess that works out, actually, because you did kill the Tiny, and you need Tiny's damage to get the return kills, which he used to kill the Sand King, but without him, I mean, you can maybe kill PA once, but maybe not a second.
Oh my god. Okay, well, PA finds herself a very easy kill there on the Silencer, as no one's going to continue to try and poke and prod away. No more Satanic for about 15 seconds. The item, not the player.
Player also out for a while.
Yeah, player also dead for a good minute.
Means he has no buyback, though, so if PA finds him, you got some problems.
Yeah, no, instead they're going to find themselves the Tiny. The bash comes in. Ice Blast deletes him. It's not even close. That is a long death timer for Satanic. 95 seconds without your Tiny.
Now they're going for DM.
And now they go for DM. Yeah, the sleep, the epi, the earth splitter, the mana. It's going down, but not as fast, I think, as they would hope. Is no one going on to the backside. Going to be able to try and grab Maposhka. Dust is out. Nice Yules, though. Buy him a little bit of time, but the chase not done. There's a scythe.
Rue has a scythe.
Rue just rushed scythe. You're kidding me.
I mean, he's pretty rich. They've had map control for a while, so pretty rich.
That's huge. Storm dead. He's going to buy back. Great blast off here from 9 class. Goes in, trying to burst down this PA, and they get him. 100 seconds. Looking for Laurel now with his BKB on the run as DM under this chase here. Can they actually find this Sand King? It doesn't look like it. I mean, a worthy buyback in an minute.
I don't even know if it matters that much at this point. Storm and Techies. Okay, I mean, those are still decent, I guess.
There's a ward that is scouting everything that they are doing right now on PARIVISION. They see
ward of the game right there.
Oh, very nice jump. The global silence into the ancient apparition. He's dead. Now no one scouting for more. They got their eyes on Collapse. 9 class here, trying to slow him down. Radon goes in, just cuts down the Silencer. And now Storm needs help. Slept up, got the dead in the water. They commit the Ravage, and he's dead. 125 without buyback. No one goes down as they continue to hunt here on the side of Spirit.
No buyback's pretty scary.
Yeah.
You need that chain stun from the Vortex because Avalanche Toss is not enough. Blast off, maybe if you get there fast enough, but the Vortex really helps to give you enough time to finish these kills.
Get them, toss them into the base. That's your only hope. There's so many
Collapse
mines.
is so tanky though.
Almost 4,000 health and a pipe. He also has Ogre Seal, which is a great tool for getting out of the base if something like that were to happen.
Or further into the mine.
Or further into the enemy base.
Just turn him around, get him confused a little, you know? Look, see, he's spinning. He's like, where am I?
All right. Siege of the bottom lane of barracks going to begin here. Fortification comes out. They'll have another if the melee barracks falls.
Radiant's bottom bottom barracks are
But you've got to get something here. With Storm being dead, this is your best chance you're going to get for a while.
I think you take 2 barracks. I mean, or if you know Roche is up, you can go do that. But I don't think you do.
They're so, like, I mean, Tiny has no interest. He's top lane, just farming. He's trying to get to another item. He's going to TP back now. They come in. Nice stun here onto this Techies. They get him. They get the kill right away, and Satanic just melts. He has a buyback. There's your global, but it's all way too late. This Ice Blast PA combo has done so much work. Stomp's going to connect, and Radon once again finds Ducalis. He is not done. Laurel with the epicenter going to do what he can. Satanic uses his harpoon, trying to stay on top of the tide, but the Ogre Seal gets him away. Big crit will take down this Sand King, but the Tiny, he's all alone. The Earth Splitter is there. Maposhka claims another. Radon into the fountain. He wants this game over. 4 dead on PARIVISION as Spirit will try to close out this game.
Greatest hold in the world coming up here. 3 versus 4. Laurel's stun there was so good. He hits Satanic before the BKB comes out.
No one. No. Oh, he's trying to find Ruse so bad. He needs to take down these supports. The Scythe is massive, but he commits the BKB in his entire mana pool as well. And with this, another lane of barracks. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't do damage.
Yeah.
This is what BSJ said in the draft. He's like, you gotta have damage, and you might not on the side of PARIVISION. They just play for late game.
All right, well, I thought they'd only get the 2nd barracks, but now with these additional kills.
Oh, that's a lot of mind damage, though.
Quick reset.
Yeah, you need to find an opening here and soon on PARIVISION. Otherwise, your game is over. They're going to jump in here on no one, try to make the follow up here with the Techies, but the Scythe into Ravage Ice Blast. It's perfect. Spirit, they've done it. They take 2 more kills as the Medusa will follow a full wipe now on the high ground. She's going to buy back the 1v4 now, the 1v5 as soon the Sand King will join. There's just no hope.
I appreciate that buyback, though. Never give up hope.
That's the PMA buyback. Or DM's like, guys, don't worry, I can do this.
I'm pretty sure they always play to the end.
Yeah, they do. That's a PARIVISION thing for sure.
I think it's a good mentality. I mean, if you don't, I get that, but I like that they have it, along with being creative and always playing it out to the end because you never know how a game's going to go. I mean, if you buy enough time, toss back into the fountain.
They've got them right where they want them.
Exactly.
Closer to the fountain.
You thought the mines were in the front of the base, but they're actually in the back of the base.
Yeah, now Radon has no interest. Well, I was going to say no interest in the Medusa, but with the Stomp, you will absolutely go for the commit. They get the global out, but yeah, that mana pool, as soon as it's gone, deleted instantly by 1 crit. 120 now without the Medusa. Storm Spirit up in 35. This is the Hail Mary smoke if I've ever seen one. Ice Blast coming through. Laurel, he's just going to go right for it. Jumps in, manages to get on top of 1. In comes Satanic, trying to find his own opening, but Radon just does so much more damage. There's the GGs. And another team wipe. Spirit looking so much cleaner here in game.